switching themselves to Bitcoin. And then you have all of the problems with the current monetary systems. And the Bitcoin system is so perfect that I think it's going to be the future. And it is the present already in a lot of things, but it's going to be big, way bigger in the future. And why? I mean, El Salvador has not been the country that's recognized to be the first in innovation, but why not this time? So being the first country adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender, it's a good thing for our country. And if you add up the practical reasons, like receiving remittances with at the speed of light and having almost no costs like you would have with Western Union and those types of systems, having financial inclusion to 70% of the people that doesn't own bank accounts, having a lot of investment in tourism that would come from this, and not becoming independent, because we're not, but at least becoming a little less dependent on the output of new dollars and the new inflation that's coming with those new dollars. We don't perceive any of that. Because when a country prints more money, there's a good side and a downside. The good side or the upside is that the government has more money to spend. The downside is the inflation, because you're just pouring in more money with no basis. But the problem with using an international currency that is not yours to print is that you're only absorbing the cost. I mean, now your dollars are worth less, but you're not getting any of the new printed money because they didn't print it for you. So for a country like ours, and we're not the only country of the world with that reality, I think having Bitcoin as legal tender, even though nobody has done it before, it was a no-brainer.
People always want to know someone's Bitcoin story, and whenever there's an interview, can you remember when you first took a look at Bitcoin? Did you get it straight away? Did you dismiss it? Tell me your journey.
No, I'm not as a huge Bitcoiner as you are.
It's my life's work.
Yeah, I read your history. Now, no, when I saw the system, I thought it was like very, very smart. But at the beginning, you would be skeptical about how big would it get, or how would it be stopped, or would people accept it, or is it just a good idea? There would be thousands of good ideas that just vanish with time or in the air, or because they're not adopted by people, or they're not as strong enough to persist with time and grow. But now, after several years, this is not personal, this is just as president, seeing Bitcoin growing, like they say, if you see a dip, just zoom out, right? If you see Bitcoin getting bigger, and not only in price, because that thing about hitting everything against the price with the US dollar, I think it defeats the purpose, although it's for transition purpose, you have to do it. But I don't know, I just thought from the beginning the system was beautiful, but now I'm more convinced, since it has withstand the pressure of time and the changes in the global landscape and the political landscapes. I mean, 3 US presidents now, countries changing totally, the world stage changing, social media exploding. I mean, you have all of these things, and Bitcoin has not only persisted, but in fact, it has grown. So now I just don't see like a very, very nice idea that it's probably going to get to something very important, but actually it is a very important thing now. So it has proven itself. And at the beginning, it was interesting. Now it's a reality. And that's my personal the journey of my personal opinion of it, which, by the way, like I told you before, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, almost all classical economists have rejected Bitcoin.
Of course, because
don't
they're
accept
classical
it.
economists.
Yeah,
I mean, you just define them.
they don't understand.
Well, I don't think they don't understand. I think they don't want to understand, because all of their preconceptions, their theses, their works, their books, their prices would be meaningless because they were wrong. So they have to defend. I don't think they're that against Bitcoin. I think they're more trying to defend their personal stories. I mean, imagine somebody that's very, well-known, a recognized person in economy, and having attacked Bitcoin for a decade, and now it would be very hard for him to see Bitcoin succeed, because it would mean that he was wrong. It would mean that all of the prices he got, I mean, at least they're outdated.
Tell me about the volcano mining.
Yeah.
I made a show that went out on Wednesday with my friend Harry, who's a miner, and we discussed all different energy sources. But it was prior to your announcement, so geothermal didn't even come up.
Yeah.
Tell me about the volcano mining.
Well, geothermal, it's a very, very clean source of energy. And it's probably one of the, I wouldn't say the best, because there's a lot of other green energy projects that are good. But it has almost no downsides. I mean, for example, solar is very good. Actually, we're building some solar projects because we have a lot of sun, and we have to, that's very good and it's clean. But you need batteries if you want them to work at night, or you need a different source of power to power things up at night. And the peak in energy consumption is in nighttime, so you don't have any sun at peak consumption. Wind, it works at night, but it doesn't work when it's not windy. And you would have, for example, we have a lot of hydroelectric. That's great because you have the battery, which the battery is the dam. So you fill the dam with water, and that's your battery, right? So it works very well. But still, it depends on how much it rained, and you're probably, counting some river stream down. So you're probably affecting some people. You're affecting fishermen. So there's downsides. But with geothermal energy, that's the energy of the earth. I mean, it's right there. You can make the well. You can not make the well, and the energy will be there. It's just the Earth's energy. And it works 24/7, 365 days a year. It will probably work for the next 500 million years or whatever, just before the sun absorbs it or something. So it's going to be there. It's there 24/7. The amount of energy you get from it, it's stable. It's totally stable, because the shifts in the Earth's power are measured in the millions of years. Measured like any other thing, like in seasons or months. It's measured in the millions of years. So it's there, and we have discovered new wells that will give us 95 megawatts, which is not like huge, but still it's quite considerable. So we want to use that for Bitcoin mining, and we already have received a lot of interest from a lot of people.
Not surprised.
Yeah, and if you add up, of course, that to make things materialize, it takes time and negotiations and those types of things, and you have to pick up the good guys. But still, we have probably had interest in 2 gigawatts, which is 2,000 megawatts, and we only have 95. So it's gonna, they're gonna go like this, and that's gonna provide a lot of income to the country. And the plant, to build up a plant, it's gonna cost $480 million. So that's gonna be a legacy for the country, because we are building infrastructure paid by Bitcoin. And we're looking into something we're gonna announce later, but I think this whole project is gonna pay for other things as well. So in the future, you will see schools being built with a sign that says, this school is being built with the Bitcoin law. Or suddenly you're seeing health clinics and say this health clinic is being built by resources from the Bitcoin law. Or sports complexes, or so roads, bridges. So it's not gonna be only good for the monetary system or for the currency, and for remittances and for economic inclusion and for banking services like lending, or it's not only gonna be good for the Bitcoiners and tourism and investing and jobs, but also for energy and income to do social projects like schools or roads and bridges. That without this law, they wouldn't have that thing that would pay for them. So it's going to be, it's a full circle.